So yes, let the music soothe the soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. When we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys.
95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. Citi News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
97.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sammy Wiafe, and tonight I'm here with
Ejubi Wiafe Akintin.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
The Chamber wishes to update you on the ongoing ICOM's challenges following engagements with the National Petroleum Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, and the ICOM's technical team. We have been informed that the issue should be fully resolved.
Technical challenges with integrated custom management system ICOM's result in near shortage of fuel in the country. Tonight, we ask if the issues have been resolved. Also coming up on Eyewitness News is the Tema oil refinery tour, now in a position to refine crude in the midst of global disruptions in oil supplies. Tonight, we hear from the Tema oil refinery, and later, the Ghana Highway Authority announces major traffic management on the Tema motorway, causing heavy vehicle traffic. Tonight, we'll be there to bring you an update. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Also coming up in business.
Government tightens monitoring of diamond exports amid global compliance review.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliate across the country, around the globe. We are on citinewsroom.com and talking about affiliates.
In the Western region, we're live on Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, tune into Green 95.9 FM in Sunyani. The Ashanti region, it's Adrimpa 99.9 FM in Inkaria. In the Volta region, we're live on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sogakope. In the Northern region, tune in to Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Sabuba, and in the Upper East region, we are live on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu and Bolga, 102.7 FM in Bolgatanga. In the Northeast region, tune in to Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalerigu, and in the Upper West, it's Pupeli 92.7 FM in Wa.
You can also join the conversation with your WhatsApp messages. The number is 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Well, this afternoon, we had a number of statements from some oil marketing companies announcing a disruption in the flow or in the supply of petroleum products to their various stations. A statement came in from Star Oil, and it says, "Dear Star Saver, we may have noticed, or you may have noticed, that some of our fuel stations have begun running out of fuel. We would like to assure you that it is not due to any hoarding in anticipation of price increase. Unfortunately, Friday was a public holiday, and although we planned to lift petroleum products on Saturday, the GRA ICOM system was down throughout the day, preventing all OMCs from processing the necessary documentation to load products. We had hoped the issue will be resolved by Monday, 9th March 2026, but the technical difficulties with ICOMs are still ongoing, and this is affecting the entire industry. Because Star Oil recorded some of the highest sales per location relative to underground tank capacity, situations like this tend to affect us more quickly than others. We are closely monitoring the situation, and once the ICOM system is restored, we will immediately resume lifting and restocking all affected stations." This was a statement from Star Oil. And then later, another one came in from Goyle. And Goyle says, Go PLC wishes to inform our cherished customers that since Thursday, the integrated custom management system, the platform used to establish and process tax liabilities payable by oil marketing companies (OMCs), has experienced a system outage. As a result, this situation, OMCs including GOIL may have been unable to load petroleum products from depots for distribution to service stations. Consequently, some GOIL stations across the country may run low on product. We deeply regret the inconvenience this situation may have caused our valued customers. At GOIL, we fully appreciate the disruption this creates and sincerely emphasize that our customers and transport operators who depend on our product. This was a statement from GOIL. And then another statement came in from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Basically, it says the Chamber wishes to update you on the ongoing ICOMS challenges. Following engagement with the National Petroleum Authority (NPA) and the Ghana Revenue Authority and the ICOMS technical team, we have been informed that the issue should be fully resolved by 3 p.m. of today. In the meantime, the Chamber is working to decouple ICOMS from the ERDMS platform to enable members to resume loading. This interim measure is expected to be completed within minutes. We also know that some others are currently going through, which confirms that a technical issue rather than a policy matter. We are closely monitoring developments and will keep members informed on further updates becomes available. Thank you for your patience. Signed by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Company. And then there was another one from Ghana Link, but read that one later. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Dr. Rivison Opon. He's the CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I've read a statement from Star Oil and I've just read another one from GOIL. What is happening to your OMCs? Could you just explain to us?
All right. We had a hike with the internet systems that allow us to load fuel, popularly known as ICOMS or the ERDMS. The two systems are governed by two regulators. ICOMS is regulated, or let me say governed by GRA, and ERDMS is governed by NPA. When mostly the two systems are not communicating, we do have issues because you need both systems to communicate in order for you to load your fuel or to have a green light to load the fuel from any depot. Like both of them said, yes, we had issues with them, and we've been having issues in the past, unlike now. When we tried to decouple both systems, then we realized that the issue was not ICOMS issue. It was the ERDMS issue. Then quickly the ERDMS triggered a solution which solved the problem. So yes, there was an issue, and that has been resolved. But ICOMS also I've seen that they've also issued their own press statement. They are right. They are not to be blamed. It is ERDMS that need to be blamed. Yeah.
So basically, as we speak, the matter has been resolved, and these OMCs are lifting.
Long ago. Yes, long ago.
So going forward in the future, how do we deal with this matter so we don't see it occur again?
Well, this is not the first time it's happening even this year. These issues are technical issues, so it's just like having doomsaw in your area. But my problem is this: it's rather unfortunate that anytime we go for a long break and this happens, it distorts operational matters, because there's high demand over the weekend and during the holidays. Not talk about 6 March. Everybody wants to go visit a family member that the person has not seen for many time, for many days or many months. So demand for long weekend is very high, and therefore distortion from the IT systems on a Monday like this is very troubling. And it's a statement I've made many times. All right. So it is rather uncalled for, and it's not acceptable to have systems failure. Going forward, I believe that we should not be in a rush to issue such statement, okay? Because here we are blaming ICOMS, but the problem was not ICOMS' problem. And therefore, I just had a call with NPA. NPA is going to have a sit down with ERDMS operator to make sure that the necessary discussions are made to avoid that. Because mostly than not, anytime we have issues, we are blaming ICOMS, even when they are not the ones to be blamed. You understand? And here's an instance like that. It goes beyond even who to be blamed. We need to have, a system whereby if both systems are not communicating, we should have another option to allow our members load. Yes, we understand that the ICOMS is for the total goods imported into the country, which petroleum product is part of. But when it's down, it affects our business. Yes, we understand that ERDMS is for petroleum pricing, offloading. But when it's down, we cannot also load. So we need to have a very strong IoT system to manage both systems so that we don't have this problem going forward. And also, like I said, if all 245 oil marketing companies were issuing press statements, I don't know how much time you're going to use to read all the press statements. Let's avoid individual press releases and then work for a collective solution for the industry.
Doc, you said that this normally happens during a long break. We have Easter coming. Does it mean
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that this happens during a long break. I'm saying that when that happens during a long break like this, it affects stocks and operations of the oil marketing companies. So it is very alarming and uncalled for. That's what I said, please. So
basically, as Easter approaches, we shouldn't worry.
I didn't say that it happens during long break.
I'm just asking.
No, that's a wrong question.
Okay, moving forward, your members issued a press statement, and you are saying that it is not really their duty to issue press statement. But then when you read this,
I'm not saying it's not their duty.
No,
you are
saying no.
Okay.
You are saying that they are not supposed to issue the press statements. And I'm saying that if you read, you should avoid issuing press statement.
Yes, but
then if you read their press statement, for instance, Star Oil says that because they record large volumes in their various stations, it is just right that they inform their customers what is happening.
I hear you. Okay, I hear you.
Gore is also making a similar claim. So if they have issues like this, they do not have the right to issue statement, or they should come through the chamber.
They have the right. I didn't say they don't have the right. They said they should avoid. I didn't say they don't have the right. They have the right. They are individual companies. They have the right. But what I'm saying is that should all oil marketing companies release a press statement, where are you going to stand? And also, here's the case, the problem was not ICOMS. The problem is not ICOMS. It's with ERDMS. We that were engaging knew that the problem was not ICOMS, and now it has been resolved. We have blamed a wrong institution. Is that the right way to go in your own instinct?
Okay, Doc, thank you. Thank you very much for your
Welcome.
time. Really appreciate your time. Dr. Rivison Opon is the CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, reacting to some developments within the OMC space, where some OMCs issued a statement in respect of what they believe was some disruptions in the ICOMS system that has resulted in their inability to lift petroleum products to their various stations, resulting in a near shortage of fuel across the country. Let's speak to Duncan Amwa. He's Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, to get his take on this development as well. Duncan, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. The oil marketing companies, that's the Chamber, says that is not an issue we'll be worried about. It's just a technical hitch, and that has been resolved, so there's no cause for alarm.
I agree with my brother upon that this was purely technical and ought to be resolved. And so I am happy that clearly the shortages that we were seeing, they've been able to work to avert it. One that has been resolved and moved in commences what it means is that you and I should start seeing products move to the various stations that would have recorded any of these shortages that we had initially discussed. So I'm happy that there's been a solution. The broader or the wider issue here, again, has to do for me with what in the morning was even on your network, where you have now, as aware, the oil marketing companies asking questions of the BDCs because of some price disparities or some surge in prices that they are recording currently. As of Friday, you had lots of the BDCs quoting around 7 Ghana Citi a litre, averagely for petrol diesel. By the start of today, you were doing 8, 9, 10, even 11 Ghana Citi a litre. I heard on your network earlier that the OMCs believe the BDCs should have had products earlier and cannot price the way they were pricing. And I think that we should stop the blame game at this point. The global situation is not looking any kinder to any country on the face of the earth. If you take the Asian countries who are probably worse affected, some of them have even shut down universities from this morning. Some have actually decided that the 5 working days in a week, they are cutting them to 4 working days in order to save mobility or people from commuting to and fro, because they don't have enough fuel stocks in country to last until probably the missile conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States is resolved. So whatever this is, there is a fallout that is hitting every part of the globe. And I do think that the blame game at this point, whether between OMCs, BDCs, or international oil traders, who bring in a larger chunk of the fuel in tank for Ghanaians, we should be addressing issues of prices, because I may not be happy saying this, but you are looking at almost 4 or 5 Ghana cedis per litre coming to add to your prices very soon. And I was hoping that you can get Dr. Opon to probably help in some of the ways that either them, the operators, or the petroleum service providers are helping to mitigate expected increases that you and I could see in this week. Unfortunately, the ICOMS issue seems to have taken center stage, and so we are relegating to the background issues of stock pricing that stares all of us in the face this week. Prices have already, as I indicated, gone up the FOB level, a situation where even the oil traders are complaining, because cargoes that used to move from Europe to Africa that you could pay $20,000 to $60,000 insurance for, today are charging about $1.6 million in order to move. And so there's clearly some, fallout from this current war that is happening within the Middle East. And I, in particular, with the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, will be more interested in stocks, again, issues of pricing, again, issues of petroleum security, and as to whether Ghana is even taking any steps whatsoever to discuss issues of fuel taxes at this point, or discussing issues of the government fixing some of the structural problems that we have that might lead all of us to the difficult point that I think most of us will see this week. Prices have gone up at the BDC position, not because the BDCs are wicked or they will, but internationally or globally, the supplies that you get coming in are coming at very, very, very high insurance premiums. And that clearly would affect FOB prices, which you and I would pay for this week. So for just the purposes of education, If you are paying today about 11 or 12 cities, you add 4 or 5 cities. You can imagine what numbers potentially we are all looking at. And I think that conversations around this time, just as is happening with the G7 countries, finance ministers from the most advanced 7 countries on earth are already congregating to discuss, fallouts and how to mitigate these fallouts. Unfortunately here, our challenge has been ICOMS today, and I think that maybe in the course of the week, we may come back to the issues of pricing, fuel security, and all of that. But, Sami, from where we sit, there's even a larger, discussion as far as prices between the OMCs and the BDCs, as happened on your network this morning, where the OMCs...
I've heard people argue that in a way to mitigate the plight of Ghanaians in the event that we see the price increment, government may want to consider, scrapping the 1 CD levy it placed on petroleum products as a way to help mitigate the plight of Ghanaians. So when we are done with this challenge, government may want to, reintroduce, that levy. You think some is a good call?
So the truth is this. I am equally of that opinion that the government may have to do away with some of the taxes at this point, in order that it can be able to mitigate the harsh impact that these spikes that we are seeing on the global markets will have on all of us. But 1 CD out of a potential 5 CD difference. So do you see the difference? You are dealing with another 4 CD that might hit you somewhere. Even if government was to decide to take off the 1 CD tax that it placed on all of us a year ago. And so taxes at this point might not necessarily be able to cushion all of us. What I think the discussion should be centered on is fixing the structural challenges that we have turned a blind eye to as a country over the years and the decades. If you don't fix them, not only would the current war expose all of us to the shocks that we are about to witness this week or latest next Monday, but this week, hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, the prices I'm seeing, I wonder how the OMCs will be able to hold on, charging the 11, 12 Ghana cities that they are charging. Prices have really gone up. And again, we are not in a position to do much other than discussing taxes because we don't have strategic stocks. Other countries can talk about 7 months, 5 years, 3 years. Even the United States, just yesterday was dealing with about 16% upward adjustment in fuel prices for their people. So Ghana might have to prepare for these price increases that will befall all of us. We can discuss the taxes as to whether it will be enough. If you take 1 cedi out of a potential 5 Ghana cedis, you are still going to have to carry about 4 Ghana cedi on your head, even if the government intervention that we are asking for now is to come to pass. By Wednesday, I'm quite certain we may end up getting new prices. That, for me, is a more worrying situation, aside the fact that ICOMS, for some time, was unable to, get products to the market to serve you and I.
Duncan, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Duncan Amma is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break, but before that, a few of your WhatsApp messages. Jones Adoboy in La says, we are reliably informed that some oil companies are trying to use the war to sabotage the Mahama administration. The question is, why are we never experienced this until today? About Papa Abba, Jones Adoboy in La. Ghanaians are patiently monitoring the government to ensure what they will do in the face of these recent petroleum products and what is happening in the Middle East. What goes around really comes around. I can point out for me. I've been nationally said, with the good works of President Mahama, I know Ghana will not be short of fuel. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Go for a quick break. We'll be back.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Nkrumah has always dreamt of commanding his own military forces.
Attention! Eyes right, stand at ease.
Because that dream is still a vision in progress, he spends his time commanding his money with the EcoBank mobile app.
Operation Supplier Payment. Dispatch 1,000 units of currency from Accra to Benin. Move! Move!
Sometimes he wants a little extra control so that he can buy only what he needs.
Command Center mobile app. Activate virtual card protocol and initiate payments for sneakers and t-shirts. Abort mission for leather coat payment.
Even when the general is fast asleep, his standing order marches out to sort his bills. With the EcoBank mobile app, you can command your money to make safe transactions in Ghana and across 33 African countries. Download the EcoBank mobile app on the Play or App Store today.
By the left, about turn.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Google me. And what time when you come back, we I don't hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside? I give you info. Make a full the go be too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Let's go to the Tema Oil Refinery now, because in the midst of recent developments in the Middle East, a lot of conversations, are being had in respect of the operations of Tema Oil Refinery. And with the disruption in the supply chain of oil, many people have asked if Tema Oil Refinery is in a position to refine crude here in Ghana, so at least we can mitigate the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian, as it is expected the prices of petroleum products will increase. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Godwin Mahama Ayaba, who is a corporate affairs officer at the Tema Oil Refinery. Godwin, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. My first question is: Tema Oil Refinery currently working and refining oil?
Good evening, my brother, and good evening to your cherished listeners. Tema Oil Refinery is currently operating. If you can remember, on the 22nd of December 2025, we officially issued a communique to the general public announcing the resumption of operations, which started on the 19th of December 2025. And since then, TOR has been operating to date.
Okay. What? Let's talk about the quantity you are refining as we speak. Give us a breakdown.
Okay, so the nameplate capacity of Tema Oil Refinery, as you all know, is 28,000 barrels per stream day. And with the introduction of the F61, which is the furnace 6-1, TOR will be doing 45,000. And in the medium term, the company intends to move from 45,000 to 60,000 barrels per stream day. As earlier said in one of my interviews with the same Citi, I told you currently preparation is ongoing to transition from the 28,000 barrels to the 45,000 barrels by way of bringing on board the F61 together with the existing F1, which is the furnace 1, all tied together with the crude distillation unit. Then we can now move to the 45,000 barrels per stream day.
You say you started operations since December. So from December till now, how many barrels have you done?
sorry, off head, I will not be able to put it down. But what I'm trying to put across is that from the very day we announced the resumption of operation to date, production is still ongoing, and what we are currently experiencing is a technical transitional processes to move or to add the furnace F61 to the F1, all tied together with the crude distillation unit, so we can transition from currently the 28,000 barrels per stream day to the 45,000 per stream day. So we are currently in the transitioning period, working to bring on board the F61.
And who are you selling this one that you mentioned to?
So currently, TOR is operating on its core object. When TOR was established in the year 1963, we can all remember Ghana hadn't discovered oil in commercial quantity. So it was constructed for tolling purposes. So as we speak, we are engaged in what we call tolling system, where crude oil is brought to the refinery, we refine, and charges are being taken, and the finished product then goes to the owners of the crude oil.
And
we are currently operating a contractual agreement known as the tolling system.
And so you don't sell to the Ghanaian public, you sell to those who bring you the crude.
So those who bring the crude, they are responsible to the finished product where they intend to sell it to. TOR doesn't have that responsibility so long as the tolling system is concerned to determine where it is being sold to. As I said earlier, the incorporated companies brings their crude and TOR refined and give back to them their finished product. So where the finished product goes to is at the purview of those that owns those crude that they brought to TOR for TOR to refine for them. It is not on the purview of Tema Oil Refinery.
And who are these people?
That I cannot disclose now. But as I said, they bring the crude to us, we refine, we take our charges, and they take back their finished petroleum product.
And do you know the source of this crude, the source of the crude that they bring to you?
So as I said earlier, maybe I need to repeat myself. As I said, we are dealing in what we call the tolling system. I
understand. So I understand exactly what you said. I'm just asking the source of it. That's all. That's just what I'm asking.
It comes from incorporated companies mandated to deal in crude. So they bring it. What we need is that the properties, the assay that comes with the crude, must be able to meet the standard designed for our machines to refine. Because TOR is able to refine light, sweet crude. So when the crude is being brought to us, we look at it and check if the machines that we have is able to refine, we refine for them. That is the most important thing in this whole transaction, that it must be a crude that our machines can refine.
I understand you, Godwin, and I'm asking that, are they here in Ghana? Are these companies here in Ghana, or they are foreign-based companies? They bring the crude from elsewhere, or they do it here in Ghana? That's what I'm asking.
That's not for that. I cannot give it out as we speak.
Godwin, now we produce oil here. Is TOR in a position to refine so we use it locally, sell it to the Ghanaian populace? Is that possible? Okay. Can we do that?
Okay, so TOR has all the capacity to refine our local crude. In the year late 2016, if we can all remember, through the Ministry of Energy, facilitated crude provision from our local wells, particularly the 10th field, to TOR, and we indeed refined that crude. So the current design of TOR facilities is designed to be able to refine light, sweet crude. And the crude that we get from our wells, be it the Jubilee and the Tenfield, are all light, sweet crude. So they are crude that our facilities are designed in a way that it can be refined by Tema Oil Refinery. So if anybody or if there is a assertion by any individual that Tor machines cannot refine the local crude, that is not factual. That is an absolute lie, because there is a record that speaks to the fact that late 2016, consignment from the Tenfield, from the oil trading company by name AOT, on board was MT Goderia, provided Tor with a crude from our Tenfield.
That was 2015. What about 2025, 2026?
2016.
2016. What about 2025, 2026?
Okay, so conversation is currently ongoing between the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, the agency Tema Oil Refinery, and the government to see to it that crude is given to Tor from our local wells. So currently that conversation is ongoing. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition is doing everything possible. Dr. Honorable Don Abdullahi Jinapo is doing everything possible to make sure that Tor gets crude both domestically and from outside to be able to operate. So conversation is currently ongoing. I can rest assure you and the general public that very soon we will hear an announcement of our local crude being given out to Tema Oil Refinery to refine.
In the midst of recent development globally and the possible disruption in the supply chain of oil, what can Tor do in the immediate term to help mitigate the plight of Ghanaians? Because we are told that somewhere next week, some fuel prices may shoot up. What can Tor do immediately to help the situation?
Okay, so that is exactly what we are doing. First, we have made sure the plant has been brought back to life. Now we are active and operating. Government is also in talk with the ministry, or the ministry is in talk with government to make sure that crude oil is being provided to Tema Oil Refinery from our local wells. And in addition to that, Tor is still open to business for the tolling purpose, which I told you. But for the long term, and to put on record, Tema Oil Refinery is also working hard to make sure we bring a new refinery. In the medium-term plan, we intend to add 100,000 barrels capacity refinery to the existing refinery, and that process is also ongoing. So the new management of Tema Oil Refinery, together with our able Minister of Energy and Green Transition, and with the political will from the government, we are doing everything possible to make sure that the people of Ghana will get the full benefit of the resumption of operation of Tema Oil Refinery.
But you are unable to give a timeline.
For that, let me reserve that for now. But with the competent leadership that we have now, I know very soon we'll begin to have a full benefit of our own foremost refinery, Tema Oil Refinery.
In the event that you're able to do this, and in the expectation of all Ghanaians that Tor is able to do all the good things that you're talking about, do you have enough storage capacity?
Yes, Tor has enough storage capacity as we speak. When we talk about the white product, we are talking close to about 300,000 metric tons of capacity. When we come to crude storage, we are talking about somewhere 1.9 million metric tons of capacity. So we have the capacity. In addition to the new refinery on board, as I spoke to you earlier, we also are adding up to our existing farm tanks. So there are a lot of vision that we are rolling out to make sure that we'll be able to meet the domestic market and even be able to export some out of this country.
Godwin, I wish you all the best and thank you very much for your time. Godwin Mahama Ayaba is the Corporate Affairs Officer at the Tema Oil Refinery. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studios here in Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Gugomi, and what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel where I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they cost my mindset be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open it.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Ramadan Kareem, a season of peace, blessings, and giving. Electroland Ghana Limited is bringing blessings into your home with special value deals on Samsung, TCL, Media, and NASCO. NASCO TVs from just $699, bottom fridge freezer from $1999, chest freezer from $1999, Samsung 6 kg twin tab washing machine for 2,999 Ghana cedis, Samsung microwaves from 1,799 Ghana cedis, TCL 43 inches for 2,999 Ghana cedis, TCL water dispenser for 1,599 Ghana cedis, TCL front load inverter for 5,999 Ghana cedis, Media air cooler for 1,499 Ghana cedis, air fryer, juicer, stand mixer, and blender at all special Ramadan prices. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealers nationwide. Call us on 0503-159739 and on our website at www.electrolandgh.com. Electroland Ghana, bringing Ramadan value home.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sami Wiafia tonight. I'm here with Ejubi Wiafia Kentin, who has our next story.
Some ministries and public offices in Accra under the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana (CLOGSAG) have complied with the nationwide strike declared by the association. According to CLOGSAG, the industrial action is due to government's failure to implement the agreed conditions of service. Speaking to Citi News, CLOGSAG focal person at the Ministry of Works and Housing, Harriet Krakeni, said workers who reported to the office were asked to return home.
This morning I came here. Those who claim they haven't heard or seen, I return them home. So I am actually here, and I've been here from 8, ensuring that the people that come around and are not aware, according to them, have all gone back home. Okay. So to answer the first question, what we are asking for is just a simple, unique salary structure where an MOU has been signed. And the only thing left is for implementation of that MOU to the new salary structure. The unique salary structure is what we are waiting for. The only time we will come is when our leadership tells us that the strike has been called off because government has agreed to implement. Until then, any other steps will be communicated to us from the leadership of CLOGSAG, and then we pick it up.
Harriet Krakeni is CLOGSAG's focal person at the Ministry of Works and Housing. In the northern region, members of CLOGSAG in the Nanumba North Municipality complied with the directive to stay away from work. However, the Municipal Coordinating Director Sharif Dean Ibrahim was present at the office. He explained that as a senior official, he needed to attend to essential duties but acknowledged that the strike would significantly affect the Assembly's operations.
Mostly the other ranks or the junior officers, they can hit the strike because there are other works that we need to continue, whether strike or no strike. As a senior officer, immediately after the NCA, I cannot go on strike.
Are other staff members actually complying with this directive?
Well, as of now, I've not seen anybody yet who shows that they will comply.
Sharif Dean Ibrahim is with the Anuba North Municipal Coordinating Council. Meanwhile, the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid Pelpo, is urging the Civil and Local Government Staff Association to call off its ongoing nationwide strike. In an interview with Citi News, he indicated that government has engaged key institutions to continue discussions with the union as efforts are ongoing to address their demands.
At this time, it's not the solution to the matter. And we believe also that once we are listening, and we are talking, it should be the one that should drive the relations between us. I at the moment, have asked the fair wages to meet the leadership of CLOSAC so they can come to a conclusive understanding of exactly what they are asking for. Finance Minister standing by to take the demand and to address it. We don't believe that strike actions at this time should define the relations between us. Strikes also only happen when government is unwilling to address the challenges and are unwilling to talk. We are willing to talk, we are listening to you, and we are urging you, CLOSAC, not to take strikes to be a response to the relations that have been developed between us.
You heard the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid Pelpo.
You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. Now, the Ghana Highway Authority, on behalf of the Ministry of Roads and Highways, wishes to inform the general public and all road users of an upcoming traffic management arrangement as part of the ongoing construction works on the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension Project. This arrangement is necessary, according to the ministry, to facilitate the T-beam launching works for the expansion of the Tete-Kwashi Interchange Bridge N1. Let's go to the phone line and speak to my colleague Fauzi Masaudu, who is currently stationed at the motorway, to give us an update of the traffic situation, because we are told this particular road management has caused some heavy traffic on that stretch. Fauzu, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Where are you, and describe the situation there?
Good evening, Sammy. It's like you clearly indicated, it's rush hour and so much frustration written on the faces of road users. Some say that they have been in traffic for more than 3 hours, moving from Opebia, which is the airport enclave, to Medina. This is because parts of the sections of the N1 to N4 have been diverted due to the road expansion project on the Accra-Tema Motorway Highway, as communicated by the Ghana Highways Authority. But thankfully, traffic police personnel are on ground to ensure that the impact of the traffic is not felt as much. But commuters and, of course, road users are saying that that is not enough. So we know that some of the lanes are double, but they have been narrowed to single lanes, because contractors have erected beams on the stretches to indicate, or as part of the initial stage of the construction work, and it is really inconveniencing some of these drivers.
Fauzu, thank you very much for your time. Fauzu Masaudu is my colleague here at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, observing traffic on the Tema Motorway, where we are told by the Ghana Highway Authority that they are doing some road management in respect of the expansion works on the Tema Motorway. Let's go on to the other line and speak to Engineer Kwabna Bimpo. He's the president of the Ghana Institute of Engineers, to speak to on this matter. Engineer, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you're aware of this traffic management that has been announced by the Ghana Highway Authority. Tell us more. What do you know about this?
Well, thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. And just a point of correction, I am not the current president, I'm the immediate past president, but on this motorway project, I am the chief resident engineer on this project. So let me just go straight on. as part of our expansion works on the Accra-Tema motorway, we found it necessary to add 3 more lanes to the Tetekwashi bridge, the one crossing the N4, that is the road to Medina, and also to the Liberation Road. And as part of this, we are supposed to launch some T-beams. These are basically the beams that will carry the traffic when we are completed. And that requires that we use a launcher. And for those who have used the session, you will see that we have put in some framed structure, steel frame structure. This is what we use in carrying the beam, a 40-meter beam, across onto the pier and the apartment. And the contractor, as part of his works, requires that a portion of that road is closed to allow us to work safely. And this required the realignment, but then to close the 4-lane going towards Medina and to allow 2 lanes on the Accra bound to be used for the Medina bound. And that is what we are currently doing. Now, we started yesterday, even though on Saturday night we started doing some work there, and we observed that the traffic is quite heavy. We've found that there are a few challenges, especially for those who make left turns. So if you are from Jowulu and you are going to Medina, and you would have to come all the way to the mini roundabout at the mall and then turn, and that seems to be creating a lot of of challenge. And those who want to make that left turn end up going or taking the entire motorway, through lane to Tema, and that is also having a challenge. But then the good news is that we have engaged the MTTD with the airports division, and they are presently helping us. They are on the ground since morning, and I understand the term they are going to run 3 shifts to ensure smooth, traffic movement. Unfortunately, today the information I got is that I think there's a truck broken down on top of the bridge. I'm yet to see it, and another pickup. So that has also compounded the challenges that we currently have with regards to our traffic management plan. But then, having seen what is happening, I've had some discussions with the contractor, and we want to find some alternatives, or an alternative way of reducing the impact of our works, because it's going to take some time on the current traveling public. So, for instance, if you want to do a left turn, instead of going through that mini roundabout, which is creating a lot of challenge, we could go on the motorway and make a U-turn, and then come and make a right turn at the Tetekwashi, and then get onto the N4. Similarly, if you were coming from Jowulu, you probably wouldn't have to come all the way to Tetekwashi. You can make a right turn at Fiesta Royale, and then find your way towards the road that leads to President Kufuor's house. In a similar fashion, if you were also going to make another left turn, you could, instead of going to make the U-turn, also when you get to Fiesta Royale, you can do the bypass road all the way to meet the traffic lights at the Standards Authority. So these are, some things that we will have to, or that we are going to put in place to help relieve the tension that we currently have at that particular area.
Engineer, for how long are you going to embark on this project? This specific one?
This is supposed to be 4 months. 4 months. It's supposed to be 4 months. But today being the first day, I know there will be a lot of challenges. But then this should. And they are going to work day and night. We are going to launch, from today, tomorrow you see a lot of work going on there. Today we're using it to manage the traffic. Tomorrow they will advance the launcher onto the central pier, and then the beams, which we've already cast, on the eastern side or quadrant of the interchange will be brought and placed on top of the road crossing the N4.
Engineer, on a normal day, there's too much traffic, and then you're going to do this for 4 months. I can imagine those who use that road going to endure this for the next 4 months.
Yes, it is, I'll say, a necessary evil that we have to endure. But then, like I've already mentioned, we recognize it and we apologize to the traveling public. But then, unfortunately, this is something that has to be done, because if we don't do it now, we won't be able to complete, the project on schedule. So, like I was saying, yes, on a normal day we have challenges, but then now that we have this work ongoing, we will need to find alternative, routes to use so that we reduce the impact of the disruption that we currently have on the N4 especially, and also on the N1.
Engineer, thank you very much for your time. Engineer Kwabena Bimpo is a resident engineer on the Tema Motorway Expansion Project. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do Citi Business News. Remember, Citi Business News is brought to you by the Republic Bank. You are the one for you. Join the Republic Verse. Do more. Shine up. Big up.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house,
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic Verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Gafe Akente. Let's settle for the details. Ghana is strengthening oversight of its diamond exports regime as part of an international compliance review under the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme aimed at preventing conflict diamonds from entering the global market. According to the Ghana Gold Board, the exercise is intended to assess Ghana's adherence to global certification standards while reinforcing transparency and traceability and in the country's diamond trade. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Kimberley Process Review visit in Accra, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jenfi, said Ghana remains committed to the global framework governing the trade in diamonds.
As a diamond producing country, Ghana remains firmly committed to the principles, objectives, and requirements of the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme. Our participation in the KPC reflects our determination to ensure that diamonds produced and exported from Ghana are handled in full compliance with international standards and contribute meaningfully to national development and the well-being of our people. Over the years, our national KPC scheme implementation framework has been anchored on strong interagency coordination, which brings together the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and its allied agencies. Through this collaborative approach, we continue to uphold robust export controls, traceability systems, and verification protocols to ensure that our diamond remains conflict-free and responsibly sourced. In recent years, Ghana has undertaken deliberate reforms to further strengthen governance across the diamond value chain.
That was the CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jenfi. The latest Treasury bill auction saw the government exceed its target once again, raising 458 million Ghana cedis above the 5.67 billion Ghana cedis target. Data released by the central bank showed that total bids submitted for the Treasury bill options reached 10.7 billion Ghana cedis, out of which 6.14 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. Here is more.
The outcome represents strong investor demand of 89.5% above the target, extending the streak of excess demand to 15 consecutive weeks and highlighting sustained appetite for short-term sovereign securities. Demand was strong across all tenors, with investors submitting substantial bids for each of the three instruments. The 91-day T-bill recorded the highest interest from investors, attracting 5.21 billion Ghana cedis of bids, of which 3.47 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. For the 182-day bill, investors tendered 1.96 billion Ghana cedis, with the central bank accepting 946 million Ghana cedis. The 364-day bill also saw significant demand, with bids reaching 3.6 billion Ghana cedis, while 1.72 billion was accepted. The strong demand for the instruments came even as yields declined across all tenors, reflecting easing price conditions and strong liquidity in the market. The development also underscores continued investor preference for government securities, particularly short-term instruments. The 91-day T-bill rate fell by 50 basis points to 4.2%. The 182-day yield declined by 67 basis points to 6.3%, while the 364-day bill rate dropped by 42 basis points. Market analysts say the persistence of a subscription alongside declining yields signals improving liquidity conditions and sustained investor confidence in government securities. Looking ahead, the government has set a target of 8.1 billion Ghana cedis for the next T-bill auction.
Netele Netiajahu with that report. Away from that, the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kesi Forson, has directed the Ghana Revenue Authority to implement immediate measures aimed at strengthening border controls and safeguarding government revenue. The directive follows a meeting between the Minister, the Acting Commissioner of Customs, Aaron Akano, and the management of the Customs Division to review developments at Ghana's borders. As part of the new measures, Dr. Forson ordered an immediate ban on the land transit of selected goods, including cooking oil, rice, sugar, and frozen products. These items must now be routed exclusively through Ghana's seaports and will no longer be permitted to enter or transit through the country via land borders. Moving on, the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana is calling on government to immediately suspend all tariffs and levies on fertilizer imports, warning that a rapidly escalating geopolitical crisis in the Middle East could severely disrupt Ghana's agricultural production and worsen food insecurity. The Chamber said removing the roughly 12% duty burden on fertilizer imports would provide immediate cost relief to farmers and importers at a time when global supply chains are facing major disruption. In an interview with Citi Business News, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Anthony Morrison, said the measure could be implemented through an emergency statutory instrument within 48 hours.
As a strategic approach, the Chamber is calling for a suspension of all fertilizer import levies immediately. The Chamber deems it very fit, looking at the percentage point of import duty reduction in direct relief to farmers. At the moment of maximum pressure, this can be enacted by emergency statutory instrument within 24 to 48 hours. There is no justification for maintaining a 12% duty burden on fertilizer imports during a global supply emergency. And this must be done. This is why when things of this nature happens, the minister should be able to call for an emergency meeting with key industry stakeholders and find out how do we mitigate this issue. All this has not been done.
Anthony Morrison is the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Agribusiness. And that's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Join the Republic Verse, do more, shine more, big up. I am Ejubi Wiafe. I can up next is Point Blank.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house, oh.
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic Verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome to Max Buy. Hey Jerry, this is your phone. We've ever paid for camp pill. What is this?
Babe, relax. Today is the day I turn water into wine. You're in the promised land. Max Buy is here to save us, okay?
You're welcome to Max Buy, Ghana's #1 electronic retail store. How may I help you?
You know, my queen deserves the best. Show me your top gadget here. Now you need the
At Max Buy, we've got it all. Mobile phones, smart TVs, air conditioners, kettles, microwaves, blenders, and more.
Babe, imagine our anniversary selfies with this Techno Camon 30S. Everybody would think that we are Ghana's Jay-Z and Beyonce. Power couple, papa.
Call us on 054-401-9552.
With over 40 shops nationwide, flexible payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery.
Are you ready to revolutionize the future of agriculture? The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, in partnership with the Ghana Exim Bank, proudly presents the Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026. The fair will feature exhibitions, market linkages, masterclasses, and workshops on climate-smart farming, digital tools, and export development. Join us at the Black Star Square from March 17 to March 19 at 9 a.m. each day. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will be assisted by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofuswejari, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, to open the fair. Government agencies, agrotech firms, startups, farmers, financial institutions, and the general public are all welcome. To exhibit or for inquiries, call 0559 679326 or 0242 585419. Media partners: Daily Graphic, Media Journal, Radio Gold, Citi FM, and Channel 1 TV. Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026, transforming agribusiness through local innovation and technology.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, and this is Point Blank. Point Blank tonight, my guest is Eric Edem Agbana. He's a member of parliament for the good people of the Ketu North constituency in the Volta region. A first-time member of parliament. A member of the education committee in the house. He's my guest tonight for us to have a conversation about Parliament, constituency, and how it's been so far. Adam, good evening. Thank you very much for coming.
Well, good evening, Sammy, and thank you for having me. Let me say good evening to all our cherished listeners across the world, especially to the good people of Ketu North and the youth of Ghana. These are the two constituencies that I represent.
Interesting. Adam, you're a first-time member of Parliament. Tell me what you see in the house. What is something you envisage that this is going to be, or is a different ball game altogether?
Well, Sammy, because I've had the privilege of working with the Honorable Samuel Okujetua Blakwa as his research assistant in the 7th Parliament.
Okay.
I can say I had some prior knowledge of the workings in Parliament. However, being a member of Parliament is entirely different from
being a research assistant.
And then what you see there. And quite a number of things are interesting in the house, but I can say that chamber you see, the chamber of Parliament, it's a whole university on its own.
Wow.
That you have to experience it for yourself. You learn so much, and I am, as a first timer, I'm still learning. As a backbencher, it's actually a privilege if you get recognized by the speaker to say a thing. I mean, there was a particular day I really wanted to contribute to the debate. I kept standing up, and they were calling only the seniors. I went to them and said, I must work hard to retain my seat and keep coming back, so that when you get closer to the front, then you are easily recognized. The speaker, then you can always. But I must also say that the current leaders that we have, many of them are interested in supporting the young ones to speak. Today, for example, I made a comment on a statement, and I could only do that because leadership, I pleaded with leadership, my leadership, that they were talking about young entrepreneurs and the need to support them. And I say, you know what, leader, I would want to have a bite on this one. Even though there were many people, they gave me the opportunity. So it's actually a privilege, and we are learning a lot from our seniors. And every day is a new experience in that house.
You're a member of the education committee and the youth committee. Let's talk about education now, because it's something that's, bothering a lot of Ghanaians in general. The current curriculum that we have, as a member of the education committee, I'm sure I've had an opportunity to look at it. Does it fit the current dispensation?
Well, the education is about knowledge acquisition. But what is also very important is the fact that education is supposed to shape our identity. Education is supposed to shape our character. And education is also to shape our aspirations. And so when you put all these things together, in terms of knowledge acquisition, I can say our curriculum currently is very good for knowledge acquisition, but I am not too sure about the other aspects, the character formation and shaping of aspirations and all of that. I think that as a country, we can do very well, or we can do better. We can relook at our current curriculum and make it somehow more responsive to the needs of the time. Recently in Parliament, the Honorable Stephen Amo-Astika delivered a statement calling for entrepreneurship to be included in our curriculum. I think that was a fantastic statement. So things like that are necessary. There are also some of us who have the belief that some way, somehow, patriotism and ethical leadership is missing in our conversation in schools. That is why we experience all the aggressions that we see today across many of the senior high schools. Issues of indiscipline, issues of aggression, students beating teachers, the violent attacks and all of that. I think that if we are able to do something about the curriculum, we can effectively, in the short to medium term, shape the character of our students. And so there's a lot that we have to do in that regard.
Is it about the curriculum or general breakdown of indiscipline?
Well, there's a general breakdown, but you see, because students spend so much time acquiring knowledge based on what is in the curriculum, if your teacher tells you that this is how you're supposed to behave, and you are reading that as well in books, you are preparing for exams, in your group discussions, you are discussing these issues of ethics, issues of patriotism, some way, somehow, it becomes a part of you. Some way, somehow, it becomes a part of it. So beyond the general breakdown, I think that what we consume, what the students consume, because what is actually causing this is also the fact that students are now more exposed to a lot of toxic stuff on social media. And so that's what they are consuming.
It's the source of all this trouble.
It is the source. So if you don't have an alternative in the books that they read, in the content that they consume for exams, trying to correct some of those perceptions out there, you have a situation where in their character formation or build up, much of what they have consumed is what they see on social media. And we live in an era where today everything is even sexualized. That is why you see a lot of sexual abuse even in these schools. Everything, even people trying to advertise water. Check the images of the ladies that they use or the men that they even use. Either you see a gentleman with six packs, a certain body type and all of that to even advertise water. And so we are creating certain images for young people, and so it takes extra work for parents to be able to get their children not to consume those stuff. And technology is trying to correct it. I have a son who is very, very, very savvy when it comes to technology. Sometimes the things he's able to do with my phone. So at the point I got worried that even what my son, who is just 7 years now, what my 7-year-old boy can do with my phone or with my laptop.
There's some apps you don't even know they exist on your phone, but they know
I don't know how they are able to do it. But so technology will tell you there are ways you can regulate it so that they are not exposed to some content. But all of these things, it's not every parent or every child that may have access to some of these apps or technologies that prevents them from accessing those sites. So what is very important is for us to inculcate that into their daily teaching and learning, so that they can form the right characters. Look at what happened in Kaswa. 10-year-old, 11-year-old decided to go and do money rituals because they got that content on television. So I think that there's something that must be done to better refine our curriculum as we have it and make it more relevant, make it more responsive to the needs of the time. And I'm talking about across all levels, not just at the basic level, even at the universities. Our universities must begin to design courses that are more responsive to the needs of today than the kind of education that our fathers and forefathers consumed. So there's something that must be done in that regard.
I read somewhere that you intend to petition the education minister to do a review whereby we take out some content of education, something like this neo-colonialism out of our books. Is that exactly what you're trying to do?
It's something that we have worked on, and where we are now is that we got assurance from the stakeholders that NACA is currently reviewing its curriculum. And so all we have to do is now push for the kind of content that we want with regards to some of these things. My position is that colonialism, yes, is part of our history. Slave trade, all these things have been part of our history. There's nothing wrong in teaching students in Ghana that there was a phase in our journey as a country where we were slaves or we were colonized by another state. But it is a part of the history also that we want to, as much as possible, we do not want to glorify it, where you are teaching students that the benefits of colonialism, benefits of slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, what benefits did it bring to Africa? And you see contents where they are telling the kids that, through slave trade and all of that, sometimes they brought some infrastructure, whatever, and all, as if to create the impression as though without slave trade, we could not have gotten those projects or infrastructure development. I disagree with that. I mean, when I embarked on that campaign, there were many people that hit hard back at me and thought that it should be taught and all. But you see, sometimes as a leader or as an individual, when you are pursuing some of these courses, you do that solely because you are convinced, and you are convinced that it is in line with your principles and your convictions. It's not everybody that may see the big picture, and we cannot force people to accept the narrative the way we see it. But I believe that I would not want my son to go to junior high school and be taught benefits of colonialism. No. It was part of our history.
But you can't run away from it, that it came with its own benefits, some benefits.
I hate to make this example, but are we saying that if an armed robber is arrested today and he tells us that anytime I steal or I rob people at gunpoint, I use it to feed some street children or orphans, would that be a justification for the robbery?
Not at all.
Not at all. And so what it means is that it doesn't even matter what it came with. And in any case, people who said through that we got hospitals, we got roads, it was the masters were building these facilities for their own consumption, for their own use. How many of our forefathers themselves benefited from? So I mean, it's an argument that we can have. But I think that yes, it was part of our history, but I do not necessarily think that we need to push that narrative down to the younger people. Let's accept, yes, it's happened, but we have moved on. And there was a reason why Nkrumah and all our great leaders in the past fought for us to have independence and fought for us to have the Republican status that we celebrate today.
You are a young man.
Yes.
Do you think as a country we've given enough opportunity for the youth to develop?
No, I think that there's still a lot to be done. And when I talk about young people and the youth, I do so without any political or partisan, let me put it that way, without any partisan consideration. I think that as a country, we have a lot to do for our young people. Today in Parliament, I made a statement, or in my commentary, I said that over the years, successive governments have invested in various youth programs. We have heard of programs where government will say we are giving support to young entrepreneurs. But have we really done any impact assessment on these programs? How many successful entrepreneurs do we have today that can boldly stand up and say we got support from government in 93 through one of its youth policies, and we've built our business today. It has moved beyond generations and what have you. This is where it is now. I think that when you look at the model that runs in other countries, it is possible to do more for young people. And these are some of the things. You see, we need to we the leaders, we need to understand that the youth of this country do not deserve tokenism. And support for young people should not be seen as a social intervention, because you miss the point when you take it as a social intervention. It must be seen as a strategic investment in young people. And we need to have a broader conversation. So, we need to have a broader conversation on how we can support young people through education, entrepreneurship, even youth in agri. For many people, it is more of a slogan than actual investment in agriculture. We need to. This past weekend, in my constituency, I received a group, and they are doing something, and I commended them. What this group is doing is that they want to encourage young people to go into poultry farming. And guess what they have done? Instead of handing over cash to them, they got these people to register, they trained them, got structures, and supplied them with the day-old chicks. They gave them feed and all of that. And this is not the Akukon program.
Yes, I know.
And so they gave them, and in 6 weeks, these people are raising broilers. And the company goes back to buy from them. And so in 6 weeks' time, somebody who has been given about 200 chicks with feed and everything supplied, because they built their capacity on how to manage it. Because it's a private sector led, where they are not thinking that I got this project because I am aligned to this political party. There are people in my constituency, young ladies, who are benefiting from, and in 6 weeks, some of them have made profit of about 6,000 Ghana cedis. 6,000. Just in 6 weeks, because they are on this program. I said, look, this is sustainable. We must explore more sustainable means of supporting young people. So today I asked a question. With all the young entrepreneurs that we have, we still import lots of things. Is it possible to support them, even if it means giving one person 10 million Ghana cedis, 20 million Ghana, get them to expand? If I can support one person with 1 million Ghana cedis, and I'm rest assured that in 5 years that business can expand and can employ about 150 people and contribute largely to the GDP. It is better than sharing the 1 million to 1,000 people, and in just months nothing is gotten out of it. So we need to have a conversation around these things, that support for youth programs, youth-led policies should not be seen as a social intervention. It's a strategic investment.
But you don't think the Ghanaian youth have also this mindset that, let me only accept, let me only receive? That's why we are seeing it as it is.
I disagree. I have seen in this short journey of mine, even in politics, I have seen many young people who have brilliant ideas, who are willing, they are so determined, but it is the system that is failing them. You see, if we generalize it to say many young people are just always ready to receive, yes, there may be one or two people there, but what I'm telling you is that the majority, the young people I interact with, the kind of the Ghanaian spirit and the determination that I see, that they want to succeed against all odds, with a little support, these people will be able, and the right structures, they will be able to succeed. Recently, I had a conversation with a gentleman who is doing slippers. He calls it Cape Coast Tokota, something like that. He brought one to my office, customized it for me, and when I wear it and you have a look at it, you may think that is one of the very, unimportant,
the Gucci,
one of the top brands and all of that. And I wear it with so much pride. And when you listen to his story, these young people are willing. They are willing. It is the structure. They just need the support. So it is how we structure these things that will determine the benefit that we get from it. So I think that a lot still needs to be done. But the good news is that I see a lot of positivity and positive energy in this government towards young people. And I have conversations. I've had conversations with the likes of Eric J, who is at NEIP, and the deputy Juan, who is from my constituency. I've had conversations with the likes of Osman Ayariga, Malik, and all of that. And we are all looking at how do we give young people sustainable means. That's why you see programs like the National Apprenticeship Program, which is one, for me, it is the most impactful government policy so far. So far. The National Apprenticeship Program is the most impactful national government policy so far for young people, because what we are doing, give young people skills, tools to learn the skills and to establish. You have set them up economically. You have liberated them economically forever. It is better than giving them tokens. 2,000, 5,000 today. Many of them will finish spending that money and they will get back to the begging table and be begging. So I think that we need to have conversation on how we can empower young people in a more sustainable way.
Let's talk about football, because I understand you love football.
Yes, I do football.
Had it not been some small thing, you would have been a blaster player.
I love football. I love football. I have a football team as well.
Oh, you have a football team?
Yes.
Oh, okay. In the constituency?
Yes, in the constituency.
Division what?
We are in Division 2, but we are coming to Division 1 soon.
And very soon you come to the Premiership?
That's what I want. I mean, I have a 5-year plan to get to the Premiership, because I want to give Southern Volta their first Premier League team in a long time.
We are going to the World Cup. You think we can do well?
I believe that the Black Stars will do very well.
Go past 2010.
I'm always biased when it comes to Black Stars. In fact, even when things are very difficult for the team, I'm one of those who believe that we are winning. So, but I believe that with the preparations that we are putting in place, I have had a few conversations with the GFA president, who is a good friend, and I think that I love the mindset behind the preparation. We will do well. I am confident that.
Very confident we'll do well. If go past 2010.
If there is, yes, we should go past 2010. If there is any team in Africa that will head to the finals and eventually bring the trophy, I believe it will be my Black Stars, and it can happen in this 2026 World Cup.
Obviously, for the Black Stars to do well, supporters must be there. You think government should help people go in there?
Sammy,
to go
you
and
want
support?
to give me trouble?
No, I'm just asking because
Sammy, I have
over the years.
Sammy, let me state it. I have a this is my very personal view. I want to state it. Personal view, and I pray I'm not misquoted. My personal view is that I have gone to do the calculations on what it will cost government to send a single supporter to the World Cup, even just for the group stages.
Okay.
I've explored that, because the number of people that come to me daily that Honorable, you like sport, want to go to the World Cup. I've gone to do my passport and what have you. I tried to do some rough calculations, and if you ask me, Eric Edemagbana, my personal view, I do not think that government should use public funds to take supporters to the World Cup. It will cost government on the average minimum $9,000. Now,
per
supporter, just for the group stages, this includes flight, tickets to watch the game, accommodation, and some small feeding allowance. On the average, just about 9,000. Now, let's assume that government even intends to take 2,000 supporters. We are talking of $18 million. And now with 2,000 supporters, spread it across 276 constituencies. What it means is that we are going to get less than 10. Now, if you ask me to bring even 10 people from Ketu North to go to the World Cup, and you will spend close to 20,000, you spend close to, so nine times 30 times 10, right? So $90,000. I will tell you that please use that to construct an AstroTurf or a sports complex for me in Ketunov.
But you need supporters in the stadium.
We have a lot of Ghanaians and a lot of people are able to travel on their own to go watch.
But other governments are doing
We have a lot of Ghanaians also in these countries that the World Cup will be played. I think that we should invest in. So, for example, I am planning to construct an AstroTurf for my people in Georgia. If government will give me more funds, I would want to take one to the Veta in Apipa area, where beyond World Cup, you have a turf, you have a modern complex, sports complex, where young people will. So that is my personal view, that if you ask me, I would prefer government will invest. But what I also know is that in some countries, governments will raise funds from the private sector. So if private sector is donating towards taking supporters to the World Cup, I don't have a problem with it. I will gladly join, or let constituents of mine join. But I think that government, my personal view, and I know this comment, a lot of people will insult me, but you know what? So for especially for our grassroots, who will question why I said let's not take supporters. The question I asked, that if, for example, government says let's take 10 people even from your country, the question is, will you be part? How many of them will be part? You understand? So I have done my calculations. I love football. I wish to be at the World Cup. Many people, many of us love football, but I would wish that the focus of government should be on leaving proper infrastructure dotted across the regions, across the constituencies. I was at the whole sports stadium yesterday to watch Homestars beat Sampefi FC, and what we see as a stadium. I have a video here sent to me from that stadium yesterday. This afternoon, actually, there was a Division 2 game going on this afternoon, and then it started raining. If you see, the whole place got flooded. You know, so I think that we should have, these are the conversations that we have.
Sports infrastructure.
Currently, we have a sports fund. Kudos to Kofi Adams and the government. Let's put in more funds, more money into this fund, so that we develop the game from the grassroots level across.
And then we have to go, but let's talk about constituency.
Yes.
How is the people of Ketu not doing?
My people are doing very well, and we've done a lot of projects, and we still do more. My focus, one of the focus areas, is education. So, I mean, last year I gave out 421 tertiary scholarships.
Okay.
On 22nd of this month, March, I'll be giving another 400 tertiary students, all from Ketu North. And we are funding education because we do not want.
Where are you getting the resources from?
So there are ways. In last year when we did a program, some NGOs were on board, some individuals who donated, some companies supported as part of their CSR. We listed all those companies and how much they contributed. It was all there, very transparent about the process. As we speak, the 400 that will be benefiting, I published the list today on my website. So it is not just like a politician throwing figures. I publish their names, their level, the courses they are studying, the university where they are. And so people are donating, and we are still calling on people to come on board and support us. So 22nd of this month, you can send your team there. That's one. I'm currently supporting over 500 people in active apprenticeship, over 500 young people in an active apprenticeship, where we are supporting them to learn a skill. We've paid the apprenticeship fee. We supported them with some cash to learn whatever trade that they want, and we are supporting them to set up. These are some of the things that we are doing in Ketu North, in addition to the many infrastructure projects that we are lobbying from other agencies, from the MP's office directly. These are some of the things that we are doing.
Okay. My sports people want me to ask you, should the day you be included in the Blaster squad?
Well, I always say that the coach should be allowed to make the best decision. But if you ask me, we need to reward sacrifice and hard work.
And
It should be and loyalty. He should be included. That is my.
At his age,
it's beyond his age. He's still actively playing. Only yesterday he scored a beautiful goal. That is. I'm saying that I'm not going to decide for the coach, but my view is that Dede has shown enormous commitment and loyalty to the Black Stars, and I think he must be included. Let me tell you, one of my regrets from the 2006 and 2010 World Cup is that Eli Kingston did not play. I thought that even with injury and the second one, which was the suspension, he should have been included in the team,
because we saw how hard he fought for the qualification. That is why personally I am against players who said no to us in the past. I don't think that they should be my, I mean, that is my view, but that's my view, not even the view of my constituency. So I mean, you just want to give me trouble.
Adam Agwana, the member of parliament for the Citi North constituency in the Volta region, my guest tonight on Point Blank on Eyewitness News. And that's where we end today's edition of Eyewitness News that came to you live from our studios here in Accra. I am Sammy Wiafi. Earlier you heard Ajubi Wiafi Akenton, show produced by Kobna Wilson, Beverly London and Fred Tete Jabona, as well as Judana Odaming. Technical assistant Desmond Nyako. Till we come your way again tomorrow, may the good Lord be with us all.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 22